What happens when one of the most admired stars in the world suddenly opens up his heart in a way no one expected? When Xiao Zhan's latest message dropped, it was not just a post, not just a passing thought, but something that ignited thousands of comments within minutes, something that fans described as unforgettable. Did you know that Xiao Zhan's fanbase has now crossed more than 30 million active followers online, making every single word he speaks echo across continents? And yet this time, it was not just about fame, not about drama, it was about something far more personal, something that felt like a whisper meant only for those who truly understood him. Xiao Zhan, one of the most influential actors and singers of his generation, has built a reputation not only for his breathtaking performances on screen, but also for his sincerity off it. Over the years, he has faced storms that would have broken many, yet he stood tall, resilient, and unwavering in the face of both admiration and criticism. But this week, something changed. His message, simple yet profoundly moving, became a window into a side of him that fans rarely get to see. It was not scripted, not rehearsed, but raw and real, and it carried a weight that left people silent. The entertainment world stopped for a moment, because Xiao Zhan was not just addressing the industry, he was speaking directly to the hearts of those who follow him. For so long, fans have adored their idols from a distance, but the gap between admiration and understanding often remains wide. They see the glamour, the spotlight, the red carpets, and the flawless performances, but the struggles, the late nights of self-doubt, the moments of questioning everything, are rarely visible. This is the challenge that has always existed, the invisible wall that separates stars from those who admire them. And Xiao Zhan knew this. His message cut straight into that silence, tearing down the curtain that had hidden his truest feelings. He spoke of how difficult it has been to live in a world where every smile is examined, every word is judged, and every step is followed. His honesty struck a nerve because for the first time in a long time, fans saw not just a star but a human being who felt as fragile and as strong as they did. The message itself began softly, almost like a diary entry. Xiao Zhan admitted that in the whirlwind of endless schedules, filming, rehearsals, and travel, he sometimes lost touch with the very people who gave him the strength to continue. His fans. He confessed that he often wondered late at night if he was giving enough back to those who supported him through everything. And in those words, the walls broke down. Social media flooded with reactions, thousands of fans posting tears, confessions of their own, and words of encouragement for him. One fan wrote, "It feels like he finally spoke the words we all wanted to hear, words that remind us he is human." Another said, "I did not realize how much I needed this until I read it. Xiao Zhan is not just an idol, he is family to us." Every line of his message was dissected and shared. Some believed he was hinting at the toll fame had taken on his heart. Others thought it was his way of reminding fans that their love was not in vain. The emotional waves spread like fire across Weibo, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and fan forums around the world. Clips of his message turned into edits, reaction videos, and long threads of analysis. The energy was not chaotic but united, as if fans across nations were all breathing the same emotion at the same time. And then came the line that shook everyone. Xiao Zhan wrote, "If there is one thing I ask of you, it is to forgive me when I am not perfect, and to know that every time I fall silent, I am still thinking of you." That single sentence silenced even the harshest critics. Because here was a man, adored by millions, admitting that he was not flawless, admitting that he sometimes struggled, admitting that silence did not mean absence, but presence in another form. The honesty in that moment was so overwhelming that fans said they reread it over and over again, just to let the words sink in. This was not just a celebrity note. It was a confession, a plea, and a reminder all at once. It was the kind of moment that does not fade quickly, the kind of moment that becomes a turning point in the bond between an artist and his fans. In the end, Xiao Zhan's message was not about apologies or scandals or rumors. It was about connection. It was about stripping away the image of perfection and showing the world the heart of a man who continues to carry the weight of millions of expectations. Fans learned something vital, that beneath the fame and success lies a person who values them more deeply than they could imagine. And that revelation has strengthened the bond in a way that no award or performance ever could. The night after Xiao Zhan's words had spread across every corner of social media, fans could not sleep. Weibo was flooded with comments that refused to slow down, and the hashtags linked to his name reached millions within hours. People described the feeling of reading his message as though they had been sitting in the same room with him, hearing his voice tremble, seeing his eyes glisten with unshed tears. It was not a carefully written script. It was not an act. It was the voice of a man who finally chose to show his scars and his strength at the same time. In the middle of that storm, one moment stood out. A video began to circulate, allegedly captured during a private rehearsal session, where Xiao Zhan was seen sitting alone under dim lights, reading the very same words he later shared publicly. The room was quiet except for his voice, soft yet heavy, carrying the kind of weight that only truth can bring. The leak spread like wildfire, and fans could not believe they were witnessing such a raw side of him. Some said it felt like stepping into his heart, hearing every beat echo through the silence. By dawn, fans across different time zones were gathering in online spaces, creating their own digital vigils. Some lit candles at home and posted photos tagged with his name. Others wrote letters they wished he could read, pouring out their gratitude and their pain, telling him he was not alone. What made the moment even more powerful was the unity that grew among them. People who had never met before, from countries that spoke different languages, were suddenly connected by the same heartbeat, the same tears, the same feeling of wanting to protect someone who had unknowingly given them courage through his honesty. But what truly shook the world was when Xiao Zhan's closest colleagues and even rival actors began to respond. They spoke with admiration, admitting that they too had been moved by his courage. One star confessed in an interview that after reading his words, she broke down and realized she had been hiding her own pain for too long. Another revealed that Xiao Zhan's message reminded him why he fell in love with acting in the first place. The industry, often filled with competition and distance, suddenly felt closer, as though his voice had melted the walls that separated them. And yet, there was a question lingering in the air. What had pushed him to share something so vulnerable at this exact time? Some speculated it was related to a new project, others whispered it was his way of addressing rumors that had been chasing him for months. Fans refused to believe it was calculated, insisting that his message came straight from the heart, not from a publicity plan. Still, the mystery only added fuel to the emotional fire, making every detail more precious, every word more unforgettable. The climax of this storm came when a fan event turned into something no one had expected. During a live interaction, Xiao Zhan was asked if he knew how much his words had meant. For a moment, he remained silent, then looked down, and when he lifted his head again, his voice shook as he said, "I never thought anyone would care this much." The room froze, and the silence that followed was louder than any applause. People watching online described it as the kind of silence that steals your breath, the kind that makes your heart ache and heal at the same time. That night, fans declared it was no longer just about being followers of a star. They were part of something bigger, a shared story of strength and fragility, of honesty and love. Xiao Zhan had not only spoken to them, he had changed them. And as the days went on, the echoes of his message continued to ripple across the world, proving that sometimes a single voice, spoken with courage, can create a storm that no one can ever forget. What do you think of Xiao Zhan's heartfelt words? Do you believe his message revealed a side of him we have never seen before? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, because your voice matters in this conversation. And if you want to stay updated on every hidden story, every emotional revelation, and every twist in the lives of your favorite stars, make sure you subscribe and check out our other videos right after this one.